Oh, okay. Hey, everybody. It is Cindy and Bougie, and we are live. And we're going to wait just a few seconds and see if anybody comes in. We are, um, there's somebody just came in. So, anyway,
I see five.
yeah, there's five. So, everybody say hey, and then we're going to start talking to April, and we're going to learn something today about April that we did not know yet. So, hey, Babsy, welcome. So I'm determined we're going to find out something about her that we don't know. So, hey, Adam, how are you? So, so, hey, E, how are you?
My chat must be behind. I'm still not seeing some of the people.
Oh, usually I lag. So I get there's 8 people in here. So you guys, this is episode 3, and I'm already working on. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I got a little bit of a toothache, but I'm okay. I'm already working on getting more guests after the first of the year, and I still have some episodes to finish out December. So hey, Grumpy, hey. Uh, so um, but we just want to talk about this is all about the love of jewelry, and April may show us some things, and she may not. Uh, I know this is going to be a little weird because we're going to do this show here, and then we're going to break off here, and then in about 20 minutes after we finish this show, we'll go to April's, and we're going to do another show where we're just going to chat, and I'm going to open a jewelry jar. Hey, Carol, my cousin, how are you? So you caught me live today. So we're going to chat with April, and we're going to learn some things about her and about her love of jewelry. And I got packages today. I got my Goodwill box in, and it's humongous. And I also got my April. I also got my box from. You're just here for the secrets, Adam. I got my box from Margaret. I had to think Margaret's auction Monday night. So I got this ring here. So
Oh, so pretty.
it's not turquoise and it's not silver, but I still like it. It don't matter. It's still pretty. So
Mhm.
guys, I'm fixing to lock in on April, and we're gonna start talking to April. And you all know April, and she is BoujeeBear Vintage, right? BoujeeBear
Yep.
Vintage,
BoujeeBear Vintage.
and that is the name of her stores on Etsy. And is that your Poshmark closet name too?
It's BoujeeBear V on Poshmark
Yeah,
since
because
it's
they
not
don't have
all
enough
vintage.
letters. So, hey Sandra, how are you? So, Elisa, you think? Okay. Um, Carol, you guys, Carol Russian is my cousin, and she lives real here close to here. So, anyway, I have a huge family, and I do mean huge. My dad was the oldest of 10, and my mom is the next to the youngest of 7. So I have cousins everywhere. So, anyway, so we're gonna start, and I start every interview with this. And what is a bougie bear? For the folks in the chat that don't know or forgot, tell them what a bougie bear is.
Okay. A bougie bear is a vintage teddy bear that has been dressed with either a vintage or new outfit, depending on what I can find at the time. And then I put jewelry on it that is wearable vintage jewelry that can be worn by the person that has the bear. So when you're not wearing the jewelry, you can put it on the bougie bear and set it on your dresser or put it on top of your jewelry box like I do because I have one of those tall standing jewelry boxes. Or you can give it to a girl to dress up for dress up or something like that, or if you just like collecting teddy bears, they're cute teddy bears. So
I have some of those bears made out of chenille bedspreads. I have 2 of them. I should put jewelry on them. So,
you should.
okay. So I'm going to ask this question here. Um, what is your earliest jewelry member? What do you remember most about your earliest jewelry member, your youngest?
Mm, probably when I was, I'd say less than 10 years old, my great aunt had given me a jewelry box, and it was one of those stained glass sort of that have like they're welded in pieces of glass, and inside of it had a bunch of vintage jewelry inside of it. And she was just passing down some stuff, I guess, that maybe she didn't wear anymore, or you know, she didn't really do anything with. And I got that and I loved it. And I've got some pieces still to today that came from that jewelry box.
Cool. Cool. Hey,
But the jewelry box
Vanessa.
unfortunately broke.
So it is a cool idea. Babsy says it's a cool idea about your bougie bears. So,
Thank you.
guys, I just put it in the chat. But if you want, you have a question you want to ask April, be sure to put a few question marks in front of it so I see it. Okay. So, um, so April, I think we all know this, but would you consider yourself a reseller or a collector or both of jewelry?
Both, definitely, because my collection is enormous.
Yeah, we all have that problem. So, do you like silver tone or gold tone best?
I am a silver tone preference type of person, but I've just recently, probably within the last 5 years, learned to like gold tone jewelry or gold jewelry, yellow gold jewelry as well.
Uh, hey,
I
Tiki.
wear that in the fall, and like the silver tone I'll wear anytime.
Hey, Tiki Shantae. Guys, if you want to ask a question, today's the day to do it. If you've got something you want to know from April, and we are going to ask something that nobody else has asked her before. Um, so what do you think is your favorite jewelry style? Would it be like modernist, brutalist, stuff like that?
I'm into Art Deco. I love anything Art Deco, and I like the Victorian stuff. Some pieces of it when it's not scary, dark, or creepy. But yeah, I like some Victorian stuff, like the cameos and things like that.
Yeah. The ones that have real hair, they kind of weird me out.
Yeah, that
So
weirds me out. Or like those pictures that look like the person's like dead, or they can be dead. From what I've learned, they could
yeah,
be dead in the picture.
yeah,
So,
those are a little weird. So for those that don't know jewelry styles and don't know what is, can you tell us a little bit about what deco is and what it kind of looks like?
okay, let's see. Well, I'm looking see if my rings are Art Deco. This one might be that time period. You'll see a lot of oh my goodness. I'm not prepared for that question. Art Deco. The
Sorry.
things that draw me to Art Deco really is like, and this might not even be Art Deco, but like the stones like this, um, when they're faceted, like in this marquise style, or the older facets. Something about the older facets from that time period attract me. And then I like the marcasite too. I like that. I like the diamonds and the way that they're cut from that time period. A lot of platinum jewelry was done in that time period, which I unfortunately have not found yet. But yeah, it has that kind of style. The flapper beads, that's something I collect, like the glass flapper beads, the really long ones. I do collect a bunch of those. So that's something that was Art Deco. And
Grumpy says, say no to hair. Yes, we all say
yes,
no to hair, Grumpy. So, um,
and this
so
one is kind of in that time period too. This one that belonged to his grandmother.
right. So, can you tell us? And I know this is OFC. You like diamonds? Diamonds are a girl's best friend. So,
Mm-hmm.
okay, Art Deco. Okay, never mind. Grumpy asked us. Uh, I'm sorry, guys. Grumpy just answered it. I was going to say, can you tell us the years, kind of what Art Deco is? But she says that Art Deco emerged in 1925 as a result of exhibits at the World's Fair held in Paris.
Yes, it actually started in Europe before it started here in the United States.
So,
And it runs till about 1935, 38, maybe something like that.
okay. So, jewelry that you might find 1925 to 1938 will more than likely have a lot of Art Deco styling to it. So,
Hmm.
okay. Hey, Kathleen, welcome. I hate that you didn't get your thing. So, Belinda said that she had to unsub and redo. So, so
Um,
far you've just missed a few questions. Not, she's not told us the secret thing yet. So, okay. So,
I don't
so
know the secret.
she doesn't know the secret. Yeah, I've been racking her brain. So April. Okay, you done told us that you're a reseller and a collector. So what would you think is your best find that you resold?
That I resold.
Yes.
Um, well, within the vintage realm, it wasn't jewelry, it was a dress. It was a 19 late 1960s, early 70s, like psychedelic hippie type dress. And it was made by Jane Martin. And somewhere in California, I think they used to have a shop or something, but it was like the neon green and pink and all that swirled dress, and that one sold over $100. I think $125 for me, and I probably paid less than 10 for it at a thrift store.
Okay. Um, Grumpy was telling us to beware of things that are marked Art Deco because
Mm-hmm.
that's
A
more
lot of
than
people
likely.
don't know Art Deco, and when I go looking for it, yeah, they'll have it marked as Art Deco, and it's vintage, but it's not Art Deco. I think some people are intertwining vintage and Art Deco as the same thing, and it's not, because they don't really know what they're doing. They just have something and they think Art Deco means, oh, it's old and it's vintage, so they're using that in the description. I see it a lot on eBay.
Okay. Hi Dia. I want to say hi to Dia before I lose her. She's in the chat there. Um so you said something that made me want to pursue it this line of thought. Okay, so you sell more than jewelry then? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. What are some of the other things that you sell?
I sell vintage clothing, handbags, shoes, um, accessories, hats. I've sold a lot of hats. Um, and like I haven't listed any yet, but the compacts, the vintage compacts. And then I
Okay.
also do some decorative items that you can use in your home or in your boudoir and on your dresser or somewhere, and your dressing table. I sell little
Like
things like that, that
like
you could put your jewelry on or just decorate with.
like a toiletry set with the mirror and the brush and all that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
I've even sold a soap dish and the little thing for you to put swish your mouth with the water. They were porcelain. I sold that set on Etsy as well.
Okay, we've got some more people come in. Aged Goodness, Kimberly Robinson, Vita. Dawn, let's see.
Mike's here.
Mike is here. Yeah, I saw Mike come in. So guys, welcome. If you've got questions for April, oh Diane, I saw Diane come in too.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got questions for April, be sure you put a question mark in front of it, a couple of question marks, like so, and oops, like so, like so, in front of it, and that way I see it for sure. So, or type at my name. So yeah, everyone coming in. So hey, Kathleen Brandt and Holly Miller. So, okay. So, now if you guys didn't see April at Halloween, she dressed as a flapper and it was amazing. Like over the top amazing. So, do you like to dress in your vintage clothes? Do you like to dress up in your vintage clothes?
I like to, when I find pieces, because I am a larger woman, and those clothing styles that I like generally tend to be small. I do like to try to find those pieces and sometimes incorporate, something here or there. But I don't fully, like the way I was dressed for Halloween, I don't fully go out like that unless it's like Halloween or some kind of party or special occasion or something.
So, okay, now we're going to jump to this question. April does have a YouTube channel, and it is Bougie Bear Vintage. And April, if you can type something in the chat right quick, that way that your name's there, and then I can explain. If you are not subscribed to her, when she types in, if you'll hit the three little dots by her name, there. If you hit the three little dots by her name, the top dot will say go to her channel. You can go to her channel and subscribe without even leaving here. It'll just pop you up a new window. Hey, Purple Little Lily, that's Lydia. Welcome. So, anybody have any questions they want to ask April? So,
I know Kathleen had one about where I find my vintage hats. And I find those at
oh,
estate sales and thrift stores. You can find really great deals at estate sales on random accessories like scarves and hats and shoes, because that's not the things that people in an estate sale are generally trying to push to make the money on. They're looking more for the jewelry, electronics, furniture, that kind of stuff. So they kind of overlook the accessories.
oh, hi, Pamela and somebody. Yeah, thanks, Grumpy, for putting up April's channel. I appreciate it. So,
Thanks for
anybody
subscribing,
else?
Purple Lily.
Yep. Questions? You got questions for April? So I think I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What
Mhm.
is your favorite category of jewelry? Like rings, bracelets, earrings? What do you think is your favorite?
I think it's tied between earrings and rings. That's what I have the most of, and that's the thing I like to wear the most. Because I have a hard time sometimes finding the right kind of necklaces. I'll do longer necklaces more than I will collar style or bib style because of my neck being larger. And bracelets, certain bracelets also won't fit my wrist. I have large wrists. So, yeah, I enjoy earrings. I love different kinds of earrings, but I also enjoy rings too. So, yeah, it's
Okay,
probably tied between
got
the
a few
two.
questions. Kimberly Robinson wants to know what platforms do you sell on?
I sell mainly on Etsy, but I also have Poshmark. And from time to time, if I find the right thing, I will sell it on eBay.
Okay. And Aged Goodness wants to know what are your favorite things to thrift?
My favorite things to thrift would be vintage clothing and jewelry.
Vintage clothing and jewelry. Okay. Now, for those of you that don't know, but April has talked about this before, she collects compacts. So Vita wants to know what is your rarest compact that you have?
That I don't know. I collect them because they're pretty and they're cool. And my collection started with Tyrone's grandmother, when we inherited her stuff, and she had quite a few already. And then I've recently purchased some from Just Sandy because she had won some from another reseller on the MSP. So I have to do my research on those. Those are something that I need to learn a little bit more about that I really don't know a whole lot about right now.
Okay. Roland Picker wants to know what platform do you sell the most on and why do you think that happens?
Um, I sell the most probably on YouTube during an auction because I'm selling a
Oh,
lot of things at one time and they generally all sell. So that's why I sell the most. But I'm sure if I picked up my pace on listing on Etsy, I could do just as well on Etsy because I do well on Etsy.
okay. So, and do you think that you do well on Etsy because you have just so many vintage items, or do you think that you do well on Etsy because of volume, or what is it that is it the uniqueness of what you find and put there?
I think that can have a lot to do with anybody's Etsy store is variety and rarity. because they're going to come to you if they can't find it anywhere else. And you are competing with a bunch of other people, just like on eBay or Poshmark or anywhere else. So anytime you have a standout item that's unique, that's going to, bring people back. But successful, being successful on there really means getting your listings on Etsy to get active, get over 100 listings listed in your Etsy shop. Um, I treat mine like a boutique. So everything's wrapped pretty, and you get a nice card. You get my business card. I do wheel and deal sometimes on Etsy. Like people will send me a message, hey, would you take this for that or whatever? And I do that. And I try to keep my store, like I have my banner at the top, but I do try to change out my other photo on there ever so often and run sales, during certain times of the year for seasonal sales, and just stay active with it. And just think about if you were going into a nice high-end boutique or something, what you would expect, and then treat it that way. That's how I do it.
I'm not sure if I said this or not, but hi Pamela. So they want to know what the name of your Etsy, eBay, and Posh is, and I will put those links in the description later. So,
Okay.
but go
Yeah,
ahead.
Etsy is BoujeeBear Vintage. eBay, when I throw it up there, I think my account may just be under my name now, but I used to have a store when I first started. It was called Collect a Lick 81, which is weird. It's kind of like collect, and I don't even know where the rest of it came from. And then 81, because that's the year I was born. But I don't think it shows up like that anymore. To be honest, I haven't sold anything in probably like 4 to 6 months on eBay. So, and then Poshmark is BoujeeBear V without the rest of the vintage. It's just V.
Okay. Yeah, I'm the same way, Pamela. I've got to get busy. I only have like 15 things maybe on Etsy right now. So, okay. Um so I asked you a while ago what was your best find that you resold, and you told us about a flapper dress. What is your best find that you kept for your collection?
Best find that I kept for my collection. Probably the gold bar necklace that I found.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go on. Okay, Vita wants to know, do you sell your things that are yours?
I have, like last night, a few of the earrings that I showed that came in some of the bagged lots were some that I wore when I was younger and that my mom used to wear. They
Yeah.
belong to us. So
So,
yeah, I mean, like my jewelry collection's always moving upwards. Like so if I have had these things for a while and I like those for a while, then I sometimes replace them with probably more expensive things because, the value of them. I know I'm going to be passing this stuff down to my daughter and my granddaughter, and once I have one.
once you have one. So.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Not right away, but I hope to have a granddaughter.
So, what is we all have one, I think. Y'all all know mine is James Avery. What is the one designer that you really want to find out thrifting somewhere out in the wild? One designer or one maker that you want to find a piece of their piece of their jewelry out while you're out thrifting.
And do you mean one that I haven't found at all?
Yeah, one that you haven't found.
Oh, let's see. Chanel.
Chanel.
I haven't found Chanel, real Chanel,
So,
like
um,
vintage 1940s, 50s Chanel would be nice.
so they want to know, do you have a favorite piece of jewelry, or is that a ridiculous question? So
Yeah, this one's my favorite. I make sure I wear it all the time.
that's the ring from Tyrone's grandma. So,
Yeah.
yep.
Hmm.
So, so let's talk about handbags. Um, what do do you just sell handbags, or do you collect them too?
I have a nice collection of handbags myself. but I also resell them. So I probably have at least 25 handbags in my personal collection.
Okay. So what would you say is your favorite handbag in your collection right now?
Mm, I guess my Coach bag.
Okay.
Or no, 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 no. I take that back. I got a new Brahmin recently that has kind of mermaid colors on it, and I'm really loving it right now. That's the one I'm using right now.
Okay. Okay. So, do you have any vintage bags in your collection?
Yes, I do. I have a purple leather 80s handbag. I have some Whiting and Davis handbags. I even have one of the Victorian like little bag, the mesh metal, like looks like chain mail that would go on like a chaplain or whatever, however you pronounce that word.
Uh, um, no,
I don't
Kathy,
wear it or anything.
I wasn't born with any shy bones in my body. So, anyway, she says I'm not shy. So, Lydia wants to know, have you ever considered having a booth in an antique mall?
I want one, but everywhere around here is backed up. They have waiting lists, and so I haven't been able to do so, but I want to because I can't wait to like have a chance to decorate it and do all that. That
Uh,
might be what you didn't know about me. That gave me the answer to what you didn't know about me.
okay. So, we'll talk more about that in a minute, okay? They want to know, do you ever get any Kate Spade or Betsy Johnson?
Yes, I have some listed in my Poshmark right now if you'd like it.
Okay.
I don't
You have
wear it, but I think it's cool. Betsy Johnson's really cool, like very colorful.
very colorful. And I've said this before in interviews. The only thing that worries me about Betsy Johnson is I read that it is one of the most counterfeited
Yeah,
jewelry. It's right up there with Tiffany, and I I can't imagine because Tiffany is like major counterfeited a lot, but I can't
right.
imagine that it would be right so high up there, but it is. So, yeah. See, that's what I do with my booth. It's like playing house. I just decorate and move things around. I went and moved things around in my Waldron booth this morning. Um, we're going to talk about one of the things that somebody that what we just talked about. Okay. So I wanted to ask, and then you were like, I don't know. What is one of the things that somebody might not know about you that might surprise you? So, and that's what you
Well,
said.
I'm not sure how surprising it is, but that's what it made me think of just a minute ago was I wanted to be an interior designer. That's what I wanted to do.
Oh, you wanted to be an interior designer. So,
Hmm.
how do you tell the difference? Vita. I still want to call you Veda. Vita, I would tell you what I tell everybody when it comes about knowing if things are counterfeit. You have to learn what the real looks like.
Yeah.
It's just like they do money in banks. They don't teach people how to detect fake money by giving them fake money. They teach people to detect fake money by having them handle real money all the time. So, anyway, uh,
And so I suggest to everybody that you go out to the stores and just look at the stuff. You don't have to buy it just to have it as a reference, but you can go to, the department stores in the mall and jewelry stores and get familiar with the way a diamond looks or gold looks or, things like that by just window shopping, going in and just looking around.
so yes, and also the feel of things. When you start feeling of things, they can copy a lot of things, but there are things that they cannot copy, and you can't counterfeit a feel. So the letters are different. Usually, a lot of times one of the giveaways for Tiffany fakes is their lettering. Tiffany is very precise about making sure that all their lettering is in on their tags and centered perfectly.
Hmm.
And if you find a Tiffany tag and it's off center, then you know you've got a fake. You can just take it to the bank. So, hey, bike contest, welcome. So Authentic Betsy sells very well.
It does.
Um, I have some pieces in my booth that I cannot sell because I'm afraid to put them online. What is your favorite stone and gem? This and that wants to know. That would be Kathleen. Tell us what your favorite gem and stone. So,
Well, diamonds. I like
diamond.
diamonds, but also I'm on the hunt right now for a beautiful aquamarine and diamond ring. So aquamarine is really something I'm fond of too.
Um, so okay, guys, y'all heard that? Bougie's on the hunt for a aquamarine ring. So if you got one, so uh, email her. So
Yep, send me a
are you
picture.
open a jewelry jar? Kathleen, we are not opening a jewelry jar in this chat right now. We're going to open one in about a half hour to 45 minutes over on April's channel. I'm going to be opening this bag. So anyway, but so another thing, April, tell us, what did you do? What kind of work did you do before you started in on this crazy journey we call jewelry reselling?
Before I moved here to where I live now, I always worked retail usually. Management. I had gotten into management for years, working for Circle K and Dollar General and stuff like that. So, yep, that's what I used to do. I used to run a store most of the time.
So, so she's been in management, so that's good. So, what do you think that you learned in management that helps you run your businesses, your Etsy and your even our YouTubing as more as a business than as a hobby? What do you think that you learned that guides you to run it as a business and not a hobby?
Customer service, like knowing people and how to react and deal with, questions and concerns and things like that. I think that really, gives me that advantage because I'm used to these crazy questions that people ask and how finicky people can be about certain things. And I've always had to be quick on my feet with an answer. So
Okay. Do you have any special pieces you want to show us?
I didn't prepare anything.
Okay, that's
I
okay.
didn't know, and I'm sorry. I can show you my jewelry ball that's going to be in my video as my giveaway. If y'all want to look at that,
So,
that's the
guys,
only thing I have near me. So this is my 300 sub giveaway. So if y'all join us in my video, got a chance to win this.
yeah, she said a while ago, Kathleen, she said, but she can ask again. She's asking favorite stone too, please. I think she
Smile.
meant.
Yeah, I
Mm,
said diamonds and probably aquamarine. I mean, I'm not sure if she's asking like stone as in gemstone. Like, well, I mean, like they're all gemstones, but you got your precious and your semi-precious gemstones. So diamond is my precious
so,
stone, and
I don't
semi-precious,
think I
I
said.
love turquoise.
Yep. I don't think I said hi to you, but hi, CC. Welcome. Um, so, if somebody came to you and said, "Hey, April, I want to open an Etsy store," what would be three things that you would tell them they need to do? That they need to. They already know about vintage things and all that, but what is three
Mhm.
things you would say that they need to do? So,
I would say have your inventory, prepared. Like make sure you have the inventory, have at least 100 items to list. Go ahead and have done your research and get your pricing and all that stuff ready. And then I would say go ahead, get started with it. Put it up there and get those 100 items listed because it works very similar to eBay in that way. The more items that you have listed, the more attention that you'll get in your store.
okay, we got some people that just come in. Blendine, hi, Blendine, hi, Sally, welcome. So, they want to know, what do you think of Alexandrite stone? Do you like Alexandrite?
Alexandrite. I'm not even familiar. Is that the one that's kind of purpley blue?
I think it's blue. I think it's a blue stone. Pretty sure.
Alexandrite. I'll have to let me look that up on my phone real quick and see if I.
So,
I know what it looks like.
so, Sally and Blandine, we're talking to April. If you have anything you want to ask her, be sure. And I also, while she's looking that up, I just want to tell everybody it changes color, she says.
Yeah, okay, I'm seeing it. It's beautiful and very expensive, apparently.
So, can
Yeah,
you
it's very pretty.
they want to know, can you list on Etsy through the app like you can on eBay and Posh?
You can. It's just easier to do it from the computer. What I used to do before I got my laptop set up the way I wanted it and everything is I would go ahead on my phone and do it as a draft and save it as a draft and then finish it off from the computer because it was
Okay.
easier that way.
Okay. So, what do you, I know that you sold out on your jewelry jars and you've got to make some more, but what do you think is the thing that you sell most on Etsy? Do you think you sell jewelry or your vintage clothes most?
Mm. Think Mike had asked me in my video before. I think it's about even. When I look at my solds, I think it works out to about even. I'm running lower on clothes though, because I've sold a lot of my clothes and I need to go through that closet and pull out some more pieces and get them listed.
So, anybody else? Yeah, yeah. Everybody, thumbs up. Be sure and you go and subscribe to April because
Yeah,
we're
it's honestly even. Hmm.
trying to build up April's. And guys, I'm only 31 or 32 away from 500 mark, but I do have my contest going too. So the video is the one that was just right before this, and it's called Christmas brooches and Christmas giveaway. So be sure and leave a comment there to be entered for it. I will be drawn for it on the 15th. So her name on Etsy is Vintage Bougie Bear V. Yeah, Bougie Bear V. So
It's BoujeeBear Vintage on
I'm sorry, y'all. Anyway, so one thing, if you wanted to tell somebody how you think that they could be the most successful at selling jewelry, what would you tell them the best thing that they need to do is?
learn as much as you can about what you're selling. That's always the best
Yeah,
way.
yeah, learn as much as you can about what you're selling. And you know what? I'm gonna throw this in here because this is just something. It's okay to admit that you don't know everything about your piece too.
Yep.
You know, do all the research you can, but sometimes there's just things you cannot find out, and you just have to say, okay, this is what I do know. I don't know this, but look at this piece. It's beautiful. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if you're dependent upon having to know this one thing about it, then you're probably not the buyer for it anyway, because the person that's going to love it for the beauty of it's the one that really wants to buy it anyway. So
Yep.
sometimes it's okay to admit that you don't know everything about a
Mm.
piece. So I've
And
had
nothing wrong with listing it higher than you would. When I don't really know something about the item, I may list it high just so I don't undersell it. So,
right. So yeah, they're telling you you have the most adorable teddy bears.
oh, thank you, Dia.
So anyway, well, the research books, they can be high, but there is wealth of information out there online, guys. You know, there are some really nice books out there, but you can find out a lot online too. So, and
Hmm.
online, so you don't
Yep,
know nothing.
I don't have the expensive books either. Not yet, anyway. I think I'm going to ask for Christmas to get some of those.
Mhm.
But I do. I have found some in the thrift stores and at estate sales, and look for books at those like the ones that are animal shelters that raise the money for like cats or dogs or the shelter or whatever. I found a lot of books at places like that too. And maybe if you have one of those book share things, do y'all in your area, do you have those boxes where you put a book in there and take a book thing?
Um,
Maybe you could do them through there as well.
This and that. Kathleen wants to know which books are you interested in getting.
The Monet and the Napier, the two expensive ones.
Thank you, Kathleen.
I have
So
more that are all kind of all encompassing antiques and have sections for jewelry. I have a lot of those, but then I have some that are like the fantastic fakes. And there's another one. I think it's the same one that Angie showed the other day in her video.
the
I have.
Warmans.
Mm-hmm.
And I do want to say, if you are looking for just one book that might help you to get started with books, that Warman's book is a good book. And while I'm gonna let April ask this question, and while she's answering it, I'm going to get my book off my shelf over here.
Okay.
Um, so April, tell them about your new venture that you're starting. You sent out emails
Oh,
and invites, but tell them about it. That way, if they want to be emailed about it, that you can tell them how to email you. Okay, tell them about that.
okay, sure. So me and Casey, we're leaning towards not doing as many auctions, but doing more of a subscription service, a membership program where you will. It's an exclusive thing, so you have to buy the jewelry subscription box to join. So once you initially buy the box, you will be joined to the group and you will get added to our Facebook page where we will share as much information about learning about vintage jewelry or just jewelry and gemstones and things like that in general, exclusive videos that will only be for that group, and the jewelry that will be in your box. We will do a three piece box and a 5 piece box. So the prices are different according to which one. And the 5 piece would be more geared towards hand-picked items that are specifically, something that you've listed that you want, so that we can go searching for that. But yeah, it's called the Bougie Geisha Glitterati. Is what it's called. If you look up glitterati, it's supposed to mean something like high. Let's see, what was it? Because Casey came up with the glitterati name. It's like high fashion, high. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that up again. He knows what it means, but it fits very well with what it is. But it's going to be more like of the sign pieces, sterling silver, gemstones, that kind of thing that will be in those boxes. It won't be just fashion type jewelry at all.
Um, Thanks, Lydia. I appreciate it. So, guys, I'm going to click off of April for just a minute to show y'all the front of this book. And I do want to tell y'all a suggestion where I have found some books is Friends of the Library sales. I don't know if your library has it, but our libraries in our areas do Friends of the Library sales, and they start selling off the resource books. And so they'll sell them like 10 for $1 and stuff like that. So,
Here's the
and
definition to glitterati: the fashionable set of people engaged in show business or some other glamorous activity. There you
there.
go. That's what the glitterati is
Yeah, Immortal Hourglass just posted that too.
about. Okay.
So, okay, at what price point will those be offered at, or can she wants to know the price point? Had you
We're
rather email her that, or do you want to just tell it?
Oh, I can say it. We're leaning towards around, I think it was 35 to 40 for the 3 piece. And then I think it was a 55 for the 5 piece or something like that. And it's not something where when you sign up, you have to get it every month and you will. No, we're going to put it in our Etsy shop for purchase. So every time you want the box, and you'll earn points as well towards purchases in our stores, but you can purchase it whenever you want to. You want one this month, but you don't next month. You're not tied into anything.
Okay, okay, guys, we're fixing to wrap this up, but I want to show y'all this book that she was talking about. Angie showed this book the other day. Let me just click on me for a minute. Let's see there. Okay, it is Warman's Jewelry, Fine and Costume Jewelry, This one is the 5th edition. I think there are several editions. I found this on Amazon for under $20. I'm pretty sure. So, so anyway, so this is a great book. It's got lots of information, and it's broke down by company, and it is also broke down by years: Art Nouveau, arts and crafts, turn of the century. I mean, it tells you 20th century, and so it's very interesting, very very interesting book. Also, this one here is called Inside the Jewelry Box, and it is a book that just shows some jewelry and stuff.
That's cute. I haven't seen that one.
Yep. And then this one here is popular jewelry in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. So, and it's pretty cool too. I think it's broke down by, yeah, it's broke down by,
I want that one then. I'd
you
like
want
to
this
see
one
that
too?
one. Yeah.
It's broke down. I don't know that it's broke down by company. I think it's just broke down by pieces and descriptions and
It's called, what's it called? I want to write that down.
popular jewelry of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And it's by Roseanne Ettinger. And it says that it gives you values. And I'm just going to tell anybody watching right now, the values that you see in a book usually are not anything like you can sell them for. This book is from 1997, so it's an
Yeah.
older
So those were the prices at that point. But by now, if it's vintage costume and it's signed, it's probably way more than that.
book. Anyway, so okay, guys, we're going to go because we need to regroup and we're going to change channels. So we'll be back
Right.
in just about 10 minutes or so over on April's channel, and we're going to do an unboxing. So, and April's going to do her giveaway, right?
Yep.
So, will we ever write our own jewelry book? I won't. I've written books. I don't want to write no more books.
I don't think I will.
Yeah. Anyway,
I
so
don't know though. I never know. So
okay. Okay, guys, that the literati glitterati sounds cool, and y'all can email April about that if you didn't get an initial email. So
yeah, it's
leave us
BoujeeBearVintage at Outlook.com. I'll type that in the chat.
okay. They want to know the giveaway is today. Is
It is
tonight.
today, and it's the ornament filled with jewelry.
An ornament filled with jewelry. So okay. We'll see y'all in a little bit. So bye bye. Thanks for being
Bye.
here. Leave a thumbs up. Thanks. Appreciate you all. Bye bye. Yeah, there she left her email. So BoujeeBear at outlook.com. See y'all in a bit.